Okay, so this is 12.2.2, and what I'm going to do, I just starting here on this page real quick, just to kind of give you back to the where we started from. We've already talked about coal. What we're going to do now is we're going to talk about. You're going to be able to describe how petroleum and natural gas are formed, how they're removed from the earth. You'll be able to discuss the importance of fossil fuels as a source of petrochemicals. You're going to be able to explain how fossil fuels are renewable, non-renewable resources, and we must share them. And we've talked about that. And then you're going to be able to describe the effects of fossil fuels on the environment. You can go in there.
You gave me the wrong test form.
Okay. So, we've already done this, done this, done this, done this. I'm going to come back to this diagram right here and kind of take a look at that. I'm going to come back to this diagram and compare it to one that we do here in a minute. We talked about peat. We talked about coal. All right. So, petroleum, right? So, petroleum and natural gas. You've pretty much been lied to when you were young kids. Petroleum is not the fossilized remains of dinosaurs, right? And so, in fact, petroleum and natural gas largely are marine algae, right? Marine algae or microscopic plants. So, phytoplankton, zooplankton, single-celled organisms, pretty much. And so what happens is they build up in the water, they're in the water column, they're constantly dying and constantly being reborn, right? And so what happens is this stuff is coming down all the time, trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions of it. And so what's happening is we see that material making it down to the ocean floor. But the problem is, and it's crazy, when it's on the ocean floor, not a lot of oxygen there for them to use to change. And so as it's doing that, basically it's sitting there. Well, over a period of time, it gets covered over by sand, by silt, by things like that. And it's heat and pressure, just like the other process with coal. Heat and pressure does amazing things. And it gives us petroleum. Now, how is this diagram similar to the other one? What do you see?
Layers.
Yeah, we got layers of sediment, right? I agree with that. Layers of sediment. Here's the other difference too, right? So we're not dealing with a swamp. We're dealing with the open ocean, right? How else are they the same? We're definitely dealing with organic matter, right? Right, organic matter dies and it gets changed. Okay. By the way, this gas is not yellow. It just they made it that color so you could differentiate it. A lot of the gas is actually colorless. But again, over a period of time, this material builds up. We see an impermeable rock layer. Impermeable rock layer then caps everything in, and it can't go away. All right. So this diagram right here on the bottom is really what I want to show you. Pretend that this top that says cap layer is like a hat. Okay? The hat is keeping my head inside, right? Well, the same thing is going on. I know all of you have done this, and so don't lie and be big and admit it, because I know all of y'all have done this, right? When you were little kids, each and every one of you, I don't know how the glass got there, but you always had a glass in there, either to rinse your hair or whatever. You're in the bathtub, and all y'all have taken that glass and turned it upside down and put it in, you know you've done this, upside down, and it traps a bubble of air in there. Then you take your little finger and shove it up in the air. You're like, hey, how's it going? What are you doing? Oh, I'm drying. And you start talking to your finger. I know you've done this, right? So what happens is the air gets trapped in the glass. Why? Why does it happen? Why does the air stay in the glass? Guys, this is not a rocket science question.
There's nowhere else to go.
Because it can't get out, right? It doesn't go through the glass, right? Air stays in there. So it's trapped in there. Water keeps it up there, doesn't it? Right? Same thing goes on here with oil and natural gas. What happens is we have a confining layer or cap rock, an impermeable rock layer. It doesn't let it out. Now, here's my question. What does permeable and impermeable mean? All right. I got a red bucket around here somewhere.
Right there.
Perfect. I am now grabbing a red bucket with a sponge and water in it. Austin, turn on the light. Don't move it. Here we go. Probably on the microphone this doesn't sound very good. So, all right. What's going on with the sponge? Water's going through it, isn't it? Now, wait a minute. Hold on. It's just about there. Oh, sorry. What's going on? Stop coming out, right?
Yeah.
Everybody good?
Yeah.
What's going to happen if I squeeze it?
It's gonna come out.
Why?
Because you're putting pressure and pushing
Co-
the water out.
Pressure.
Well, yeah, because I put pressure on. I agree, yeah. But there's water still in this, right?
Yeah.
Where's it at?
It's absorbed by it.
It's in the little holes and little pores, right?
Yeah.
So I squeeze it, right?
Yeah.
Water comes out of it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Got to change hands. Sorry. All right, here we go. Right? What's going to happen?
Some
It'll
water.
soak up the water.
All right. So right now the water isn't coming out, right?
It's dripping now.
But it's coming out now, right?
Yeah.
Coming out pretty good. Sounds like Niagara.
Right.
All right. Okay. That's like, so what we have here. Why does the water travel through there? Because it's permeable. Right? Because water flows through because there's spaces to allow it. Bless you. So our water can flow through there because there are holes and spaces. It's permeable. Okay, here we go. Number 2. This is one of my favorite rocks. All right, so here it is. Kind of got a natural little curvature cup to the rock, right? Okay, here we go. Now I'm going to pour some of this water on this rock. What's going to happen?
It'll slide off. Or stay in the cup part.
Will it go through?
No.
Why?
Because it's hard and it flows off of the rock.
Doesn't have any holes or spaces.
Oh. It's coming off. Hold on. A second. I don't care how long I stay here, that water is not going to go through this rock because there's no spaces for it to go through. There's no holes. It is impermeable. It's cap rock. Now, here's the thing. If you have a layer of rock and it's solid, it can trap things in there. So what happens over a period of time is that the oil and natural gas naturally form. When they naturally form, that's when they eventually gravitate to somewhere where it gets trapped. And once it gets trapped, it cannot escape until somebody puts a hole in it. Or an earthquake happens, right? Now, we get crude oil all the time. We got crude oil from everywhere. And I think I've talked to you guys, talked to you about what's going on in the Middle East and Iran releasing 500 million barrels of oil. Here's the deal. So, currently gas prices are fairly cheap. If we release more oil, 500 million barrels, more on top of what we're doing now, what's going to happen to the gas prices? Okay, here we go. I have a bowl of jelly beans in my hand. Now, granted, it's an imaginary bowl of jelly beans, but I got a pretty good imagination, so that's okay. Bowl of jelly beans. And it's got jelly beans inside the bowl. Every time I take a jelly bean out of the bowl, what happens? There's one less jelly bean. Right? And so if we continue to take natural gas and petroleum out of the ground in such a way, eventually the jelly beans are going to be gone. Right? And so one of the things that you got to understand is we use petroleum products for everything. For everything. Your desk, your toothbrush, your car. There is petroleum byproducts in everything. Your plastic water bottle, your computer. Ladies, I shouldn't say that because it's kind of sexist, so I'll just say people. Makeup. Right? Fertilizers. Rubber. Paints. I could go on and on. So, it's pretty evident that we use petrochemicals for just about everything. Now,